What is happening, peeps? My hair is gone awry. Hang on. Let me just sort out the mop. What is happening, everyone? We are back. It is Monday. I bet a lot of you were like, oh, I bet there's going to be no show today. And boom, early. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is having had a good weekend. It's been a bit of a mad one in the old Didisphere for updates and things. So we're going to delve into that. We're a little bit early today, like I said, so I don't know where some of my international panel members are going to be just because of the time difference. But it's been a long time since it's just been you and me, guys, right? It's been a long time since it's just been us having a little chat. And maybe I've got a little something to show you. And maybe we're going to wait because it's quite juicy, right? And then probably in about an hour, we're going to dive into the Diddy Hanks stuff. And that was a video that was shared by the wonderful Kaza, my Twitter sphere guru, right? And it's about a 15-minute video delving into allegations against Tom Hanks, how he fits into the Didisphere, and all of that. No sound. No, there's definitely sound. It has to be sound. More people would be saying that. Baby photos. Are you talking about the scans? You talking about the baby scans? If so, here's one right there. Look at the guy, little Nova. All right, we got that out of the way. Sound is fine. Yeah, I thought the sound was fine. There's definitely sound. What's happening, Murph? What is happening, everybody? Hope everyone is doing good. Murph, what channel are you on? Why you not got a spanner? I've got a Tom Hanks story myself. Interesting. But I think a lot of you know the story of a guy called Isaac Cappy. Everything that he tried to allegedly expose and uncover. And we'll be touching on that a little bit as well, because I think there is a bit of a backstory to Tom Hanks. It's not the first time he's popped up on a radar. And I will say this. This is all allegedly, okay? And this is all also from the research of a guy on Twitter. And you know how sometimes that can go. All right. So give me 1 second. Yeah, Isaac, he was probably, I mean, what would you say? Maybe he's probably the last one to have come forward and tried to blow the roof off of this. Because I'll tell you something, if there was ever a case that looked like they were sending a message, and I don't even mean a convincing message. I mean, imagine you're somebody who has had, you know, a life that's led you to want to stand on a ledge, shall we say. And you choose a ledge that is about the same height as one of those big shipping lorries. You know the lorries. Do you know Optimus Prime, right? The shipping container lorries. I mean, what he fell off looked like one of those could just about go underneath it, right? And also, it was in the middle of a desert. It just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. So, oh, here's a beautiful Dan. Just give him a jacket. To Glasgow. I'm pure pregnant as mental. Oh, Kevin with Shane. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
See, she is real. Haha. I didn't just make her up with AI. I told you. Now, do you want to see something? Right, because I'll play it now and then I'll play it again at the end, right? But I'm so excited about this. Okay, I'm so freaking excited. Get a shareable link. Don't mind if I do get a shareable link, YouTube. Thank you. Oh, man, it's so... What do you mean? Oh, okay. Yeah. Gomer. Pushed the wrong button. Right, give me a second, guys. Save. Refresh. And then... All right. Relax. Okay, good. So, what else? What else we got? All right. So I'm going to have 2 more mouthfuls of my tea, and then we're going to get into it. Also, people have been asking about the Illuminati series I was doing. We were talking about magic. We were talking about the secrets of the cabal and all that. Greetings from Serbia. Holy smokes. Greetings back at you, Serbia. Listen, Serbia. What's your name? Irina. Tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how cold it is right now in Serbia, right? Because I think it's cold here, right? But I'm pretty sure Serbia is going to take the biscuit every time. I'm telling you. Big shout out to Serbia. I hope you have a good day, Irina. Belgrade. Yeah, it's chilly. Yeah, I'm gonna put down that. In fact, I'm going to put down that probably Irina is probably in the coldest part of the side chat right now, unless there's anyone from Canada. Canada's no joke either when it comes to the cold. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, cold. There we go. Just in case anyone knows, the official statement is cold. I'm with you. I am with you. Wait, Serbia isn't Siberia. Wait a minute. I might have been thinking about Siberia. But listen, sometimes I do that just to see if anyone notices. And Natasha, you win the point. You win the point of the day. I've never seen snow. Wait, it was snow. We got snow here the other day. It was quite nice. We were all kind of hoping. Yeah, see, you just sit in the background, you don't say anything, and as soon as I make a complete mockery of myself, there you are. You're here to laugh, eh? No, but listen, I hope your new job's going well. We'll get a wee catch up, Marks, and hope you're doing well. Yeah. Yes, it's -2 here. -2 in L, -21 in L. Okay, but is that -21 in the way the Americans do the... Listen, if anyone from America is watching, right? Why does your water not just freeze at 0 and then your water boils at 100? Surely that makes more sense. So is it -21 American or -21 actual temperatures? Alaska, listen, I'm one of these like Western white males who has this like romanticizing factor with Alaska. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those guys where I'm like, hey, I could do it. I could survive. I'd last about 30 seconds, right? But man, would I love to try. I would love to try. I don't know what the C stands for. Okay, I don't know Celsius and Fahrenheit. I don't know which one is the one. Degrees. It must be Celsius, right? Celsius is what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay. So cold. Ron, Maggie was just on Discord. She's awake. Maggie should have the link. Oh, yeah, I'm sure she will be awake. But like I say, everyone's probably just wondering what the hell is going on. Right, so we're going to play a little treat for you people. Okay, I'm going to play it one time now, and then we'll play it. Oh, I just turned it off. And here it is. So enjoy this wonderful, wonderful promo, you beautiful people.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. We're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but breaking down racial barriers, breaking down generation barriers, people from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on. You know, it's just like people from all walks of life connecting and getting together.
They want to be an artist. They want to stay a star. Don't want to have to worry about the day. The producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
In the Francis interview, you talked about Bieber going on romantic vacations with wealthy men. Is that normal in the industry? Young people getting groomed and drugged and manipulated?
And if you look at all the footage with any Puffy or anyone else, you can tell something's going on romantically. And if it was my child, somebody's gonna have their teeth knocked out their mouth. All people who involved, regardless, preachers, athletes, artists, can't get crucified one day. So therefore, at the end of the day, there's going to be people that is witnesses or there's going to be accountants. But at the same time, all the people can do all the pointing the finger. But if you hang on Puffy all the time, everywhere you go, they go. And you with them when they arrest them, and nobody can handcuff. I ain't pointing the finger at Stevie J, but it looks really, really suspect. Eventually, everybody knew that in the beginning to send big boy gifts and send other people gifts in return for favors. Bedtime favors.
Right? All right. So Suge Knight. Suge Knight. Oh yeah, listen, there's a reason I put subtitles during the trailer. Okay. There's no music during the interview, obviously. But my God, what an interview. What an interview. I mean, I have to say, Sean knocked it out of the park, right? Kept it all to himself, right? We got a couple of little hints that it might be happening. And then, yeah. And I'll tell you what, I've got a weird feeling this is the start of something amazing. Yeah, Suge Knight. Suge. Sorry, I keep saying Shug, but it's Suge, like as in the start of the word sugar. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a banger. A banger. Okay, also, here is now where Ron officially sits when it comes to controversies on guests. I'm going to let the side chat figure it out. All right? Because Ron is just, he's just going to, you guys can deal with all of the, okay. And then at a later date, maybe we'll talk about it all sometime. I don't think on here, but maybe some other place, months in the future. But how cool is that? It is Marion, yeah. But he seemed like a really interesting guy, and I'm just excited to see what comes from it all. You know, as merely a simple servant to the side chat in the YouTuber sphere. I hope you guys like it. And I'll tell you, that's why there was no shows last week. And oh man, it was just hours of editing. So when you see this, right, and you hear about the concept of an hour for about 10 minutes of edited footage, we're in that realm on this job. It was a monster, an absolute monster. Wait, an hour for every 10 minutes. That doesn't sound right. No, it's about an hour a minute. About an hour a minute. Yeah, Sunshine. Oh, listen, Sunshine. I've heard all you have to say. Don't worry. You're fine. You're fine to express your views. I'm not going to comment just right now. How empowering is I'm not going to comment right now? How amazing is that? So yeah, that's what was going on. I got a phone call from Sean, and he's like, "Listen, we need to get this done. got to cancel everything. We need to focus on this. And I'm like, all right, they bother me. And you know, I love Sean to bits. He gets so excited about stuff, especially when it's massive stuff he's sorted out on his own. It's almost like, you know, when your cat murders a bird and then brings it home and is well pleased with itself, right? Okay. But at the end of the day, you've now got a bloody mess all over your carpet. So bless his heart, we've got Sean trying to do a recording of a 3-way call from America to his computer, right? His microphone broke off of his microphone stand, right? Like literally snapped off. The guy's got this like £1.50 of Rode mic that he's holding like this up against a phone that is then connecting to a call that's to another person who's holding up a phone to another phone, right? So he's going to be given a little shopping list of things to buy, like, you know, a freaking mini jack cable or whatever his phone will take to go into a little mixer, and it'll make life a lot easier. But he smashed it out the park, man. Like, he smashed it out the park, completely smashed it. So very excited for you all to hear that interview. I have, of course, for those of you who didn't know, I am now taking over, and I've not even been asked to do this. It was very much I walked into the boardroom during a meeting and declared this was going to happen. Can we comment and talk about who's Jay? We can't talk. No, you can. You can. Yeah, you can. I don't know who Jay is. The Jaguar. Is that what you mean? Jaguar? Jay-Z? I don't know. Who do you mean? As soon as you tell me who Jay is, I'm going to realize who Jay is, and I'm going to be like, no. But let me know. I can't remember what I was talking about. What is this dude bleating about? I'm only here because Tom Hanks. What is this being? Listen, Tracy. Okay, we're getting to that. We're letting the algorithm do its thing first. You little rascal coming in here all spicy on a Monday. Relax. It's Monday. Okay. We're getting to the Tom Hanks stuff, but it's got some things in it that aren't very YouTube friendly. So we need to get past the first hour. Okay. And if you'd been here at the start of the show, you would have known that. So I'm just letting you know. All right, yeah, please subscribe. After you hearing me badger my subscribers, please do subscribe and also share. Why not? Let's get into some news. So obviously Diddler, the man also before we get into that, why is no one talking about this UFO stuff that's going on in America? Right? Like the other morning, I'm lying in bed. It must have been about 4:00 in the morning, right? And I'm going through the TV, and you know when like you stop on something on YouTube, it starts playing it, right? It starts playing on the UFO thing that's been going on in America for months, right? Months and months and months. And I'm sitting there, and there's this guy with a beard, right? The guy with a beard, and I swear on all I believe in, right? All that is good, all that is righteous in this world. That man turned round. It's not Tuesday. It's Monday. He turned round and he was asked if the USA has ever had communications with non-human life. And then they rephrased it to, is America in communications with non-human life, right? And the bearded guy looks the guy right in the eye and says, I can confirm this, yes. So, like, that means there's aliens, right? Now, we know there's aliens, but they're all kind of getting a bit yappa about it. And there's a lot of lights that have been showing up above air bases that they just can't ignore anymore, right? So it's not really about, do we believe in aliens, right? It's more about, are we at the stage now? Like, did NASA and did someone just admit in court that America's been yapping with aliens officially in court? Because to me, that seems a bit out there. Because why is no one talking about it? Why is that not the front page news? Why is it not on the front of all the papers? Beardy in court admits yapping with aliens. Why? I will check on that right now for you, Krista. I know that his son was arrested earlier in the year for very similar crimes to his father for something that went down in a yacht. Shauna Sundany Combs seen in courtroom. Nope, I'm pretty sure this is the old report. Whoever it was that just said that to me. Let me just double check that though. Yeah, 49. Oh no. 18 days ago, something. No, it's that's an old report. But yeah, he was arrested. King Combs was arrested after allegations of SA of a what are the ladies or gentlemen that look after the boats? Like if you're on a yacht and you've got staff, one of them, he was accused of SAing one of them, and he went on to say that it was meant, the impression that they were given was it was like a family excursion on a yacht. Whereas it turned out that it sounded a lot like a freak-off party. There was a lot of ladies and gentlemen of the evening, shall we say. But she apparently has recordings or evidence. There was apparently medication, if you know what I'm saying, and booze and all these things. And yeah, it's very much the allegations are very allegation-y, are very like his dad's allegations, if that makes sense. Like the whole thing just reeks of like father like son, metaphorically speaking, of course, because innocent till proven guilty, right, guys? Okay. Oh, my U.S. rep from my district is leading the charge on Congress about aliens. Listen, I'm not being funny, right? I'm not being funny. But is the Diddy case just been a big distraction? Like, where they're like, oh my God, there's so many freaking UFOs. We need to give the papers something. We need to give them something, right? So they just threw Diddy in jail and made loads of headlines so that none of us would go outside and look up at the sky at night. Because it just seems awfully mad to me, right? It seems awfully mad to me that we've got literal bearded NASA dudes. He might not have been from NASA. He was definitely bearded. He was a serious dude, though. Like, he had to sign a bunch of stuff. Like, when they asked about crafts, have we reverse engineered crafts? He said, can't talk about that. I signed, and that's not necessarily what his accent was like, but that's what it's going to be. I signed some papers, Your Honor. I don't even know if he said Your Honor, right? I don't even know if he's from the South, but he beard, and he signed some stuff where he couldn't talk about that, which to me suggests he's seen some things. All right, but they've just admitted it. They admitted it. They were like, oh yeah, they bother. Just talking to a bunch of aliens. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, that's not very nice. Yeah, you can go and sit in the naughty corner, all right? You can go and sit in the naughty corner for that, Hans. I don't like that kind of thing. That was rude. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely one that we need to keep a wee eye on. I mean, I say that, but it's been going on for months. It's been going on for months. Anyway, let's jump into some Diddy stuff, because bailing that. So we all know that, you know, before the week, I think it was Friday, there was the court case that was then postponed. All the rest of it, it was, you know, set for a different day, I think Tuesday. In fact, maybe that's what you were talking about on Tuesday. I think it's all starting to make sense now. So that should probably be tomorrow. Well, obviously it'll be tomorrow. It is Monday. My brain is waking up. Right, we're turning off the camera so that we can have some Capri Sun whilst we're reading this. All right, okay. Hang on. Okay. Oh, like and share. Can we get some shares, please? because Ron had to take 4 days off, and it's what he's basically murdered his traction. When you take 4 days off on YouTube, that's the equivalent. If you were working in an office, it's the equivalent of not coming into work for 8 months. Okay, that's what 4 days off is like in internet time. So we just need to sort of remind everyone to come back, and that would be great. So if we could all just like proactively and almost like, if you're the way that you're sharing this can restrict people's lives and affect them in such a way that they're forced to look at this, you will be given a gold star, metaphorically speaking. We can't talk. We can, but we tend to call them we call him and his missus the king and queen of the Illuminati. But we can talk about them as long as you're intelligent about the way you word your sentence. Allegedly, I heard this person say, and quote their name. Do you see what I mean? So we can't really talk the way that we talk about other people in the public eye about those two, because they're a bit suey, right? They're a bit like, oh, morning, dear. Oh, morning, dear. Do you want to consume the souls and tears of the younglings in the basement, or shall we get to the suing? Do you know what I mean? Allegedly. What's happening, my G? Oh, I'll tell you what, look, Break the Ice, he has got an interview going out with the wonderful Julia. I do believe it's this evening. So keep an eye out for that. He is a good guy. What happened to Jag last night? I have no idea. Murph, Jag getting what? All right, somebody, let me just get into Discord, because Discord's a good place for deciphering what is going on in this chat. Getting the live hand Rowan. Okay, round. Yeah, okay, that's just Kazza being a legend. Big shout out to Kaz. Big shout out to all the mods. Freaking killing it. Okay. All right, let's get into this. Defense attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs have proposed new bail conditions that they claim will be more restrictive than jail. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry. What? More restrictive than jail, eh? All right. Okay. Challenge accepted. Conditions for the disgraced media mogul's bail were discussed during the bail hearing on Friday, November 22nd, and in New York City, which was attended by US Weekly. The prosecution listed its main concerns being security, the risk threat to others, as well as any obstructions, and that Diddy, 55, is a flight risk. Freaking right he is. Additionally, for conditions to be sufficient for Diddy to be granted bail, there needs to be a level of trust that will follow those conditions. But his risk of flight and danger to the community is well documented. In short, the defendant cannot be trusted, the prosecution stated. I mean, that sounds fair enough, right? I mean, fair enough. Listen, I tell you what, let's be just for the duration of this conversation and for this ad, right? Let's take away Diddy from all this, and let's just look at the topic of man in jail, evidence, society's reaction, judges' reaction, all of this, because I think that from the data that we've all seen, right, I think that it is 100%. Oh, Jag's channel was frozen last night. Okay. That's from Murph. Thanks, Murph. I think they're hitting the nail on the head with this. I mean, we've only got to look at the pneumonia cases that seem to occur around this man. Our very own friend of the channel, Big Homie CC, he was working at events or parties or nightclub events or things like that. And he ended up getting pneumonia 3 times from, was it arsenic? Somebody in the side chat can confirm or deny that. Now, one thing, when we start talking about channels and the, things that can happen and all the rest of it, that is why it is so important, right? If any of you, Cyanide, thank you. If any of you decide to start a YouTube channel and all the rest of it, you're going to have a certain level of yourself as a human, how you want to conduct yourself, put into check, depending on what sort of lifestyle you want on YouTube. And it's the sad truth that you have to learn a new language for YouTube. I call it algorithm, All right. And it is a dumbed down version of English. And sadly, we're going to see a generation of people who are going to stand on two sides, okay, of a line. And it's going to be people who are infuriated by the dumbing down of serious crimes, the way they're reported on, and the way that we can discuss these things on an open platform like this. And then you're going to have the other people who don't realize what is happening. And I have a fear that we're almost going to create a narrative where some crimes, because the proper words aren't used and we can't discuss them fully, that we're almost going to have a sense of detachment from the seriousness of the crime, in my eyes. So for a lot of people, it's hard for them to speak that algorithm, whether it's passion or whatever. But when people say to me, "Oh, you're censoring yourself. You're censoring yourself," no, I'm just conducting myself. I'm just conducting myself in a digital battle for the truth in a way that doesn't allow the enemies to weaponize my own words against me. Does that make sense? All right, let's go. Let's carry on. Where were we? Prosecutors added that there was no guarantee private security firm would ensure the compliance of from Diddy, saying this comes down to the defendant trying to pay his way out of custody. Of course. I mean, can you imagine how many bags of shiny things this guy has buried for if in case something happens? We've all seen Sopranos. We've all seen like movies with mafia guys, and then they've got to go on the run and they go to a floorboard and they pull up the floorboard. And there's like 6 passports and a pew and a bunch of money. Okay. You know he's got some of those. You know he has. So you imagine you're Terrence, right? 6'5", 300 pounds of Terrence, right? Who's now a security guard. Okay. You've got twins on the way, right? And Diddy turns around and is like, look, I tell you what, I'm going to give you $10 million in untraceable gold bars if you just fall down a flight of stairs and I just leave. What do you think Terrence is going to do? What do you think Terrence is going to do? This isn't a 50 million offer at Cat Williams where you've got to have a up your. This is just take a tumble. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You know, Terrence is coming into work the next day with some of that chemicals that you put on gold to see if it's real gold. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. It's different when it's. Is it different? It's not different. It's not. I was just going to say it's different when we think about law enforcement or things like that, but it's not. They're all corruptible. If you're just a normal person, there is that corruptibility with money to a percentage of people. There are the uncorruptible. I completely get that. But then you better hope that you don't love anyone, have any children, or have a mother alive, because those gold bars will quickly turn into, do you want your loved ones to survive? Allegedly. Okay. Diddy's defense presented possible conditions for his bail, which they would claim to be more restrictive than the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center. So then keep him there. If it's going to be worse on the outside, then just keep him there. We have a better time, right? Where he's currently remanded. The first protocol was Diddy to be detained in his Star Island home in Florida. Is that the one with the tunnels? Is that the one with the tunnels? Oh my God. Do you think, right, the lawyer had to go in on saying, do you think the lawyer, right, was sitting in a meeting with Diddy and he's like, no, listen, you need to ask for the one with the tunnels, all right? And it's not. Well, just for the sake of this last piece of this joke, we're just going to pretend that it is, right? We're just going to pretend that it is, okay? Like, do you think his lawyer just cringed going in and asking for all this? He must have done. He must have been walking in and going, I can't believe I'm going to do this for a 3rd or 4th time. I can't believe it. So yeah. Also, you little rascals, I forgot. We've got a brand new series starting tonight. A brand new one. It's called PDF Hunters. Look at this. PDF Hunters right there. And we're launching tonight with CIM Midlands. Former royal advisor arrested trying to meet with an individual who is not an adult and does not work underground looking for coal. Okay. And we covered this when it broke, and this is a huge update. We have CIM Midlands coming on. They've launched an entirely new set of platforms for doing their catches. They've been catching these individuals for over 10 years. I think they've got 800 to 900 convictions or 800 to 900 cases. She is the real deal. She's not joking around. She's done this for a dedicated. She's done this for over a decade. Done this for over a decade. And she is unreal. So you do not want to miss this. You do not want to miss this. But that's not all, you little scamps. Because tonight, 6:30, we've got Diddy and J-Lo's DNA breakdown with Beverly Rhodes. You've seen that of when my DNA was broken down. We have done the same. Well, Beverly and Asaria have done the same for J-Lo and Diddy. And I'm telling you now, you are going to want to see this because it is a spicy bag of meatballs. I can't get enough of Bev. I just can't. So tonight, 6:30 with Bev, and then I do believe it is 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock for CIM Midlands. Our first episode. PDF Hunters. Also, I've forgotten to do something. Just bear with me 1 second, everybody. 1 second. All right. No, apparently all this is already scheduled and set up. That's fine. Thank you, Sean. All right. I love my meatball. Do you know, Dan is a vegetarian, right? And she's a proper vegetarian. Like, she likes actual vegetarian food, like a big pile of veg, like fancy. Do you know, that was a really bad example of vegetarian food. But like, you know, like a roasted veg thing. I don't know. She likes all that. Whereas I was a fake vegetarian who I only ate like corn, right? But she likes some of the fake meats, and we found really good meatballs. That was all I was going to say about that. Could you lovely people? Oh my God. Hang on 1 second. Julia, I am doing my daily show earlier than usual today. Do you want to say hello to everybody?
Hi.
Say hi to the side chat, Julia.
Okay, so you're on stream.
Yeah, I'm on stream. I'll phone you back when I'm done.
It's very important, so call me back.
Okay. Well, do you want me to pause and you can tell me this now?
Yeah.
Okay, right, everybody,
Yeah.
you just need to wait. Julia needs to tell me something. Honestly, that's another. There's another freaking episode of her show. Man, it's not my birthday. Who keeps telling everyone it's my birthday? I went onto Discord the other day. A friend of mine, I've not heard from him for about 4 months. Happy birthday, Ron. What? Stop it. Okay, so yeah, big shout out to Julia, sending all our positive vibes as always. Okay, I just want to say, you incredible little scamps. When I asked you guys to share this and all the rest of it, we were at about 1,400 viewers. We're now at close to 1,900 across all platforms. You little rascals have done amazing. Done amazing. My goal is for 2,000 live viewers daily on YouTube by Christmas. And we're sitting at 1100 and something just now. It's a good little target. It's up to you guys. Don't mess it up. Right. Okay. The first proposal was to be detained. Okay. Yeah. His first proposal was that he be detained in his Star Island home in Florida, which was promptly rejected. Good. Judge Arun my brain wants to say subterranean, right? Every time I look at that, it's like subterranean, wait, Subramanian. Okay. Or is it Subramaniam? Like Subramaniam. Arun Subramaniam. Freaking smash that. The defense provided an alternative proposal described as substantially more restrictive than MDC, where Diddy would be detained where Diddy would be detained to his 3-bedroom Manhattan apartment on the Upper East Side. Yeah, I guess it's easier to detain him in an apartment. Diddy blows kisses to his 6 kids' mum in the courtroom. The bail hearing. His defense proposal includes a 24/7 security detail. 24/7 security detail, as too many security guards in the apartment with Diddy, and one downstairs would have no access to phones or internet except to talk to his attorneys, which would be set up through his security and attorneys. But I'm not being funny. Like, if you're in an apartment, like, okay, Maggie, welcome, right? Okay, so
Hello.
you're Diddy, I'm your neighbor. You've just been put back into your apartment. What's stopping you coming to my door or sending someone to my door and saying, give me your Wi-Fi password now. Give me your Wi-Fi password right now. And then I just go and stand at the wall next to your house using your Wi-Fi. Like, it just seems to be the apartment.
Ron?
Hello? Yes?
Oh, you're here? Okay, cool.
Yeah. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, it's like I had a bug, but yeah, continue.
Oh, did everything freeze?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I usually start talking over people. When that happens, okay. So for me, I kind of feel more could go wrong in his apartment, right? But it's a smaller space to contain him, if that makes sense. Plus, I guess more witnesses. Like, if something was to go wrong, there's more. But like, I can't imagine the judge 50K for your Wi-Fi. But you know what I'm saying, Rebecca? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what would happen. So it's a weird one. Anyway, only be his visitors. Visits from family would be pre-trial approved and be monitored by security. There is nothing he'll be able to do to tamper with witnesses, his defense said. With regards
That's
to
a lie.
Obviously. Oh, we went over that. Don't worry. We realized the madness of all this. His defense said that the firm hired would be entirely independent, with Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnafilio, saying there was a 0% chance Diddy would be violent to someone else whilst he was. There's 0 chance. All right. Friday's hearing was Diddy's 4th request seeking bail, and his latest bail proposal included a $50 million bond. The only way I would trust this is if someone handcuffed him to Big Homie CC. Right?
And even then, I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust.
No, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't trust Diddy, but I know at least the man he's attached to ain't getting bought. Right? He ain't getting bought. In fact, I guarantee you, Big Homie's turning up with some noise canceling earbuds that he's glued into his ears. Okay, that are on an app on his phone, and he can just switch off reality and turn on Netflix and donezo. That I would be quite willing to give that a shot. I can guarantee you, Big Homie's not going to be down to be chained up to Diddy, right?
Yeah, that's it. And I'm scared. Imagine that they have like a baby oil. It's just going to be like their Big Homie.
No. I'm more concerned that Diddy has got like a fake tooth that he can pop out with a little capsule in it that he can then flick on Big Homie. Because, you know, I'm just saying this, I'm telling you now, I am now in like evil genius realms with Diddy. Not forever, just for the purposes of the next little while, because I can change my mind and that's my prerogative. But I'm just saying that there would need to be something pretty spectacular done. No, I've got a better one. I've got a better one, Magic.
What
about how about this, right? In London, there's this thing called the London Eye, right? And it's like a big, like, you know, like a Ferris wheel, like a merry-go-round thing, right? Like the big wheel, right? So it's a big wheel with huge pods, like glass pods, right? That goes round and round. So we take all but one pod out of that and we stick Diddy in there, right? So that if anyone wants to go check on him, right, we can just see him going round and round. I'd be okay with that because then at least I could go and keep an eye on him if I wanted to, right? Here we are, guys, on day 53 of me living beside Diddy in the pod. We're live. Please donate. So
you wouldn't be scared? You wouldn't be scared for your virtue? That man is a opportunist for everyone.
No, he's going to be in a pod. He's going to be far away in a pod, going round and round in a circle from a safe distance. Okay.
Even then, I don't trust him.
And I don't trust him either. But you know what? I trust me keeping an eye on him. That's what I trust more than anything. Okay. You know what I mean? I'll be giving him the dad eye, just like I'm watching you. Stop pulling your sister's hair. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll give him the dad. Once he gets hit with the dad eye, he'll fall straight into line. Maybe the judge should try that. Let's carry on. We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution by U.S. Attorney Office Agnafilio. Told us in a statement at the time, Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has set the last. I mean, I'm not being funny. That you could just insert into here. Jimmy Savile is a television icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist.
Exactly. You can say that also about R. Kelly and any one of them.
Oh, actually, here we go. Who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring children, and working to uplift the black community. He is an
uplift the black community. See, is he not the man who shot Natanya in the face? Isn't she a black woman?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Isn't she a black woman?
But I'm not being funny. But if we're just going to talk about race, if we're just going to bring people down to just their race, there's quite a lot of suspicious black individuals who have had suspicious deaths, suspicious injuries, suspicious. So maybe they mean lift. Oh no, we're not going to say that. We ain't going to say that on the internet, brain. Thanks for catching that one. But yeah, it seems okay. But this is his lawyer. His lawyer has to say this, right? Yeah. His lawyer has to say that. This isn't just like a fan on the street or anyone other than his lawyer. So this is, if you were paid to be my best friend, this is what I would think you would go out and say about me, right? Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Do you know what I'm saying? So we can't go too far into it. Thank you so much, Irina. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all the support. It really does help. Thank you so much. Oh, listen. People were saying Avicii in the side chat, Avicii, and that one song, Better Days. And eventually I buckled and I went and watched it, and I was like, what is going on here? What is going on here? A madness. So if you have, and you know the sad thing, I played it on here with no sound, still got copyright struck, so I can't even show you guys. But it's all about people buying younglings out the back of a van in the desert and then hunting the children down through a forest, and then I think 2 children survive and grow up and then go around end gaming the people that did the stuff to them. I think that was a pretext of it all. It was quite triggering, I'm not going to lie. Okay, on Fridays, prosecutors also pointed out to footage of the rapper physically assaulting his ex Cassie in 2016. Do you know that I heard some people are trying to say that that's AI?
Yeah, he tried.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, explain to me this. How can he apologized for the video, but now his lawyer are saying that this is AI?
It doesn't matter. He settled 30 million outside of court. I mean, if you're not, I mean, did you not settle $30 million with her outside of court? Like, surely that if you settle outside of court for $10,000, you can think, oh yeah, she was in it for the bag, maybe. 30 million. 30 million.
Well, you know, when they settle, they're like, I'm not admitting guilt. But if you apologize and then say that your behavior was the worst thing ever, how can you then say that this was fake?
Yeah, but do you know that in America, and it could be other countries as well, you can take there's guilty. How do you plea? guilty or not guilty, but there's one that's in the middle where you plead guilty, but you're not admitting to being liable for anything that actually happened.
Yeah.
There's definitely a way of explaining it over the intelligence of a 10-year-old, right? Which I can't do right now.
I think
But
it's
there
no
is
contest.
it could be that. It could no.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is no contest. I plead no
Uh-huh.
yeah, no contest. You're right. Yeah, I plead no contest. Yeah, there we go.
Mhm.
So I don't know why I'm talking about that. Anyway, in 2006, another reason why he should be not granted bail is that many of the pieces of evidence proving his violent and dangerous, most of the pieces of evidence proving he is a violent and dangerous individual. However, Diddy's defense responded to these claims, saying that Diddy and Cassie's relationship included mutually regrettable conduct that goes both directions.
Oh, okay. Mutual abuse. That's what we're claiming now.
And don't get me wrong, right? If you're married to some psycho woman who wants to beat the living crap out of you, right?
Mhm.
And you end up giving her a backhand Sally one night, okay? Is that two-way abuse or is that defense? What is that? Because I'm just
It
saying
is abuse. It is abuse from the woman to the man.
no, I
Because
get that.
men can be abused. But
Oh yeah.
that
Oh, yeah. I had a psycho woman that tried to hit me with plugs in it. We've got the 3-pronged plugs in the UK, right? And she used to try and get a bit mad with them. And yeah, I became very good at, you know, if anyone ever played rugby, right? Anyone ever played rugby? You know, when you've got to tuck in your head and go in with your shoulder, right? And you go in for the tackle. I got really good at that, but just going into a bear hug, right? Because I had to keep her arms flat at her sides. Yeah. Plugs are not fun. I tell you what, though.
No, for real?
I'm telling you what, though. From a surprising thing to grab to defend yourself with, people will laugh at you if you come at them with a couple of plugs if you got to defend yourself. But see, once they take one of them to the face, they're going to take you real serious, allegedly, from a home defense. If the bad man comes in and you've got to defend your life, that's the scenario we're talking. Or bad woman, or bad them. I'm just saying. 2024. Okay. With violence inherited, and both of them calling it a toxic 11-year relationship. Of course, yeah. Diddy's team previously tried to keep the footage originally. Diddy's team previously tried to keep the footage originally published by CNN out of the court. US has reached out to Cassie lawyers for comment. The decision on whether or not Diddy will be allowed to be released on bail is expected next week. His trial is currently scheduled for May 2025. Okay, I'm pretty sure today is the day that we find out about all of this.
Yeah, it's 25th.
Yeah, so we've got another one here. This sort of goes over the same argument that Diddy is wanting to be released into his apartment on the Upper East Side. His lawyers are claiming this will be so much worse than where he is right now. So then if it's going to be worse for him, surely his lawyer needs to do the right thing and keep him in jail if it's going to be a worse situation for his client, right? Oh, I'm your lawyer. I'm just going to put you in a worse. No, we all know that's nonsense. So it goes on to say, Maggie, that you won't have access to the internet. Okay, you won't have access to guests or anything like this, and an independent security firm will be used. Now, you weren't here when I made the point that we've all seen gangster movies where they've got to go on the run, right? And they run to like a floorboard and pull up a floorboard, and there's like a passport and money and all of this. So we have to then assume that there's a good chance Diddy's got some cash holes, right? We also have to assume then that there's like physical human beings that are also holders of whatever for him. So if you've got a normal guy, normal security guard, and you're offered $10 million in gold bars to fall down a flight of stairs and knock yourself out, I mean, it's not, you're not having to.
Isn't that man making his kid post like tribute to him on Instagram? But he would not have access to internet at home, but he has access to internet in jail.
Yeah, but
is that man okay?
Yeah, that's jail. But here's the thing.
What do you mean? That's jail?
God, jail's crazy, man. Like jail is how for a start are you getting a phone up inside yourself? Okay, and then how are you then getting that phone in and then out of yourself and handing it over to somebody who's a prisoner without anyone seeing?
Exactly.
No, these are the people we need to hire. We need to hire these people. They need jobs in the government. If they're willing to stick things up themselves in the name of whatever,
Yeah.
they can surely be used for national security in some way. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
So if that man has the capacity to do that from jail, how hard is it going to be to have internet at home?
Well,
Practice.
that's it.
Come on.
Well, this is the thing, right? So let's say they rip out every wire from Diddy's apartment, right? So now there's not even power you cannot even plug a cell phone in to charge it. He's back in a cave, a fancy cave is what he's in, basically, right?
Okay.
But then, then a freaking Lil Yum Yum, right, turns up to the neighbor's door, being sent by Diddy, and Lil Yum Yum's like, hey, give me your Wi-Fi password so Diddy can stand next to your living room wall and use his gram. I'm just saying, average people scared a lot easier than people in the industry.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that man is weird. Well, that's the lawyer.
Jag is upset about a couple of things that happened. I think Jag's about a couple of things that happened here.
What is going on?
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, mate.
I don't know either.
I can't imagine.
I saw a live between her and Natanya talking about different people that were talking and explaining certain things. But why would Jack be upset with us? She loves us. And I love her.
Yeah, Jack's awesome. So what else we got? In the Diddy sphere.
People keep on asking about Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, we're getting to that. 5 more minutes and then we'll be in the safe zone. So I can show you what we're going to be going over though. It's Tom Hanks named as Diddy's sickest participant in PDF investigation. Tom Hanks has been portrayed by Hollywood as a classic, wholesome boy next door figure, but those who have shared a movie set with him paint a more disturbing picture, allegedly, of course. The entertainment industry is reeling as the FBI builds another case against Sean Diddy Combs' alleged involvement in blackmail scandals centered around these and that. Investigators have warned Tom Hanks that long upheld as a symbol of Hollywood's moral compass now faces the prospect of being unmasked and facing a career-ending prosecution, allegedly, maybe, who knows? Right. So, where and why? Well, listen, we're going to go into this. Yeah. So, years ago, you remember the whole pizza scenario that happened, right? Tom and his signaling neckerchiefs. Well, do you know neckerchiefs, and depending on what color of neckerchief you're referring to, is symbology, not within just the PDF and the predatorial realms, but within other forms of adult activity, but consensual, if that makes sense. But they have very different meanings, shall we say. Yes, exactly. I'm not going to put it up on screen, but Devil Doll 666, exactly. That is what we are referring to. Now, I'm going to bring up a little backstory, a Chicken McBackstory, right?
But question for you before that: who is the person who wrote that information?
I think it's this guy here. This guy.
Who is he?
TPV Sean. This guy. So again, Casabar sent this over. This is all allegedly. But the reason I wanted to touch on it, because there has been a long standing history of weirdness, right? With Tom Hanks. And first of all, with lost gloves, right? Yes. You heard me right. Lost gloves. So for a long time, Tom Hanks would make posts. And don't get me wrong, I can kind of see the quirkiness, right, of finding a lost glove or a lost shoe and it being this story tale of those things that are left behind. And don't get me wrong, I can shape this into a beautiful metaphor. I really, really can, right? The fact that they're unwanted, they're cast away, they're lost. They're essential when we need these gloves to keep us warm. But we have so little genuine love and concern that when we lose one, they're just left to rot. Brilliant. Great little metaphor, right? Bit odd for Tom Hanks to post multiple images of gloves, shoes, all of this. Now, let's put our little tinfoil hats on for a minute, okay? If you were allegedly, I don't know, how do I put this in a polite and fair manner? A twisted, evil, demonic servant of the underworld, eater of the younglings, and you wanted to rub in people's faces what had happened to their loved ones, things that only a select few people would know belonged to someone you knew. Wouldn't this be a really incredible way of doing it, especially if that glove came from a kid on the opposite side of the world, and then you're posting it as if it's lost in a park in New York, allegedly.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
But I'm not saying that's what
Like
he's
a
doing.
trophy. Like
Because
exactly, but yeah.
But it could be beautiful metaphor of things that we need and love and then cast aside. Could be the other thing. Allegedly could be. I'm not saying it is, but it might be. Could be. Probably isn't, but it might be. So there's a lot of stuff that is used for shock value on you wonderful people, right? Which is one thing you'll have seen is this clip, which is Tom Hanks. It's been edited to look like this wasn't a parody, where it clearly was a parody. It's from the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And when
13 years ago,
when people want to edit things to then rage bait people, that is a form of counterintelligence within the realm we're all investigating in. If I can make Maggie waste 5 hours of her day one day looking into what she thinks is Tom Hanks at beauty pageants, when in actual fact it's a Jimmy Kimmel sketch, yes, great news for the PDF files. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
These holes are things we need to observe. And listen, we can all put our hands up and say whether it's a serious topic or not one. We've all been down a weird rabbit hole on the internet that's turned out to be an utter waste of time. Okay, and I'll tell you something right now. If you haven't gone down the weird realm of Kay's cooking, Candy's cooking, and now Auntie Something's cooking on TikTok, it's just incredible. It's just incredible what content is in 2024.
So there is a rumor that probably Tom Hanks, like I saw in the chat that people were like sad and saying, no, not Tom Hanks, but everyone is involved. Hollywood is really weird. Now it's just about knowing who is going to be exposed. But Tom Hanks has a problem in his family a lot. So why does he have, like, if he is such a, like, what's going on with his own kids?
Well, here's another thing.
I don't know if like that TPV is someone that we can trust, because like they were saying in the chat, people are mad at, Jag is mad at Lionel B.
Is it? Oh, okay. Well, listen, I'm just glad she's not mad at me, right? Because
no, she's not.
It's hard enough when she's not mad at you and she's mad at someone else, and you've got to interrupt her to tell people to like and subscribe. Okay, anyone want to do that as part of my job? It is hardcore. So when it comes to Tom Hanks, I want to sort of set the stage a little bit for you all, because some of you are coming into this fully invested into Diddy, but when we start bringing in other characters, it can actually lessen people's belief in Diddy when we bring in something that makes them say, oh, well, if I have to believe this too, everything else falls apart for them. So,
but sincerely, Ron, when people refuse to believe another person, but they believe the person that they don't like, maybe it's time to reflect inward. Okay, you shouldn't base your judgment on emotion. Everyone in Hollywood is weird.
You know, it's weird that you say that. I sent something to Big Homie the other day. I can't remember what it was, right? Hang on a second. Here we go. He was there's a group that I'm in with Homie and a few other people that were doing an investigation, shall we say. And somebody in the group said, pure evil, they usually keep females and babies to use to make more babies, right? And Big
Yes.
Homie goes on to say, that infuriates me. And for some reason, I was like, don't let your emotions get away from you, brother. Rage and anger lead us to poor decisions that we make within the storm. Wait for the insight that follows in the calm. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when it comes to acting on emotion, emotions and rage and anger are incredible things, but you have to limit how well your decision making is during that process. I find that my insight and clarity during those heightened rage moments lead me to very good decisions, but I don't want to make or act on those decisions in the rage, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, you guys have got us up to 2,350 over all platforms and almost 1,550 on YouTube. Thank you so much, everyone. Can we just do another little push, because it's never going to be good enough. No matter how much you do it, I'm always going to tell you it's great, but I'm always going to tell you to do it again. So,
yeah,
Hollywood.
So people were asking also in the chat, why do you think Jag is mad at Lionel B?
I don't
and
know.
everything?
I'm not interested. We'll talk about that another time. So,
Okay.
I mean, if I had to take a stab at it,
Mhm.
I don't know. But that's what it's.
Thank you, Ron.
Ron, there's been a lot of chat about Misha and the may not be. Oh, yep. I've seen all of that, and my official stance is this is brilliant, and I'm going to just use this until the end of the year. I'm going to let you guys figure it out. I'm going to let you guys, the side chat, the community, figure all that out, and I'm going to focus on having a baby and putting out content. That's what I'm going to do. And then we're going to have, I can't wait for Christmas, man. But I'm hearing it all. Trust me. And I'm fighting all of my natural instincts because I'm about to have a baby and it's almost Christmas. All right.
Yeah.
So trust me.
That's true.
I am hearing everything. Look at me. I'm hearing it all. Okay. Trust me.
Yeah. They call them, well, that thing about the, like you were saying about the breeder, making babies, like they take women's. They did that also in slavery. Women are always practical. Like we are goods that don't expire because you can have babies.
Yeah. It's true. Right. Hang on.
And there are gonna be and there are gonna be people who, come out with the Diddy situation, who may take the story of someone else, or may lie about things, and it's our job to try to give everyone a platform to listen, because even if we give a platform to one liar, if we can give a platform to 5 victims, it's better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really. I mean, liars, but listen, it's one of those things where, baby, Christmas, already under enough stress. You guys figure it out and join the Discord. That's what to do.
Yeah, but you like stress, Ron. You like stress.
I do. Nah, do you know what it is? It's too close to Christmas to derail, and we've got enough stuff. Do you know that there is 2 of my old documentaries coming out for you guys very soon, 4 new pieces of content that no one's ever seen, plus all the live streams. We've got a new series starting tonight. We've got Bev twice a week. We've got Mr. John Wedger coming back. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it is just, it's a beautiful thing right now. And drama wars, public drama wars right now. Babies, Christmas, moan. Right. Anyway, so this is not a conspiracy. Exactly. Allegedly, this is not a conspiracy. I've got to do my due diligence. But we're gonna watch Ricky Gervais. Okay, we're gonna watch this. Have you seen this, Maggie?
Yeah. Like he
says some spicy things, shall we say?
Okay.
And I hope Santa brings you a new chair. Santa can't bring me a new chair yet because I need to move the desk first. I'm not going to bring a new chair in because I want to get a big, comfy, nice chair that is designed for long periods of work and not designed to slowly push your coccyx through your body. Sadly,
that would be good. That would be good for you, Grant.
Yeah. So the pizza situation, the whole situation that happened with Isaac Cappy, all circulated around Tom Hanks, his weird photographs, his
the Lionel B show is here.
What's happening, Lionel B? Oh, Lionel B is not happy in the side chat.
Hi, Lionel B. We love you. like everything is complicated right now. We know everyone is doing their job, but everything is complicated.
Just the internet, mate. Just the internet.
Exactly.
Just the internet. It's the internet. Like, this is the thing. I often give this analogy of trying to please everyone on the internet, right? Lionel, anyone who's watching, imagine you just got your entire city together in a room, right? You've got your whole city, and imagine that is the internet. You got your whole city. And I'm going to tell you now, you've got to decide on a color to change the lines on the road to, but you all have to agree, right? How long? I'm going to be endlessly waiting for Lionel to come back to me, right? He's going to be like, oh, mate, listen, I know it's been 7 years.
Lionel B is saying something. I will be addressing Jag.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah. All right, sweet. Go for it. Yeah. I actually don't know what you're talking about, Lionel. I don't know what the drama is. Know? I've been chained to editing suite. I'm not here.
Okay, so what's happening?
No, Maggie, I'm not even here to discuss it, and we're not here to discuss it. Okay.
I don't want to discuss it. I just want to say something small.
So Lionel B, I will cut you off if you start talking about it, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, Lionel V, thank you so much for being in the chat, and yeah, we will see what's going on later.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's all I was gonna say, Ron.
Yeah, no, Ron, it's too close to Christmas, mate. Too close to Christmas. Ron's about to have a baby. Okay, like I can be friends with loads of different people, and if they all want to murder each other, that's their problem. It's too close to Christmas.
Exactly, exactly. But we love everyone. We are Switzerland.
Yes, we are Switzerland right now until the new year. Yes, conscientiously objecting. Right,
Lionel B's telling you congrats for the baby.
Yeah, Lionel, I'm telling you, man. Do you know what? Right, I was watching one of Lionel's videos the other day, and when you're editing it, and you go from like your 4K macro lens with all of your like LEDs and everything's just so crystal clear, and then you cut back to somebody who's using a 480p camera over dial-up internet, and you've got to mix it all together to make it look good. Mate, I know that you would have 4K cameras on drone dispatch to anyone you interviewed if you could get them to it, because I feel your pain too. Not that that's important or anyone cares, but I feel it. So anyway, the pizza situation, Tom Hanks, the whole conspiracy behind Isaac Cappy, the fact that he was naming individuals like allegedly Tom Hanks in a case surrounding young children. If you go to projectrook.com, which is, of course, my website, and you, where are we? Here we go. And you go to Hope Dies Here, you will see this thumbnail here. This image comes from Isaac Cappy's Dead Man's Switch. This is what looks like a Turkish style bathhouse, marble, little younglings in inappropriate outfits gathering pots of water. And this is what was released after the death of Isaac Cappy. It's called a Dead Man's Switch. The remake of this, there's a whole section dedicated to Isaac Cappy, going through his case and all the rest of it. It is insane how suppressed, how quickly this was thrown in the conspiracy crazy man bucket by mainstream media. Now, isn't it interesting for those who just learned about those who control the narrative, control the media? When we apply that knowledge to this case, it gives it a completely different light when we realize that jumping off of a bridge and apparently endgaming yourself on impact off of a height that's like maybe a first-story window, okay, in a weird little street in the middle of nowhere, okay, it just all seems a bit mad. Like, if you're going to jump, if you're going to do something like that involves gravity, right? I mean, I'm picking something pretty high. Like, I'm not just going for low. Does that make sense? None of it adds up. Waiting for this big news you're going to give us. Sharon, listen to me, mate, right? Your sarcastic tone is not what I need on a Monday, Sharon. Okay, Sharon sounds a lot like Karen on a Monday, Sharon. Okay, but thanks for being here, and I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe. So there is a pretense to this whole situation regarding or allegations or alleged story behind Tom Hanks. Let's just dive in to this.
And then we will talk about Tom Hanks, everyone.
Yeah. Well, we're going to watch that video about Tom Hanks. We're basically, the reason that for that is I'm doing a test today on algorithmic stuff for videos that we're about to play being played later on in the stream, and how it affects monetization after the show. And I'll have my last sort of bit of data that I need after today for that. So we're going to dive in. I just want to double check that there's not a shorter version of this that just has the highlights in it, because 10 minutes is a lot of time. And usually I'm down for...
What does he say about Tom Hanks and that makes you look at 2024 right now, like doing like, oh, that makes sense?
What does Ricky Gervais say? Ricky Gervais calls out everybody. Well, he calls out all of them in this. So, but we'll just pan through it all, and we'll see how long it takes for me to give up.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
With absolutely no moments where they all just want to just slowly shrink and die under a rock before the camera pans to them.
Harvey's saying that the video is lagging.
Oh, for Dan and the baby and Ron ignoring chat. I'm so sorry. I was watching the video. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much. That's so kind of you, Georgia. Thank you so much.
So is the video lagging?
No. Oh wait, but I've just got an internet spike though. It may be just telling me now that there's a spike.
Okay, good,
so
good,
it's going back up now.
Okay.
It's because I'm in the cupboard under the stairs. I need to get. Has anybody else got a cable of death, which is like an Ethernet cable that is like over 60 foot long that they've got to try and put through their house? The cable of death. Anyone? Cable of death? Anyone? Because that's the next thing for me is the cable of death. And
Susan, that's funny. She said that she watched this clip every year.
Yeah. It was just a glitch. Yeah, that's fine. Definitely nothing to do with the subject matter we're talking about at all.
No.
Also, I do apologize that we're watching the full 10 minutes of this. I did forget there was a lot of spraff at the start. But hey, we're in it together now, people. And there's 1,700 of you on YouTube. I appreciate every one of you. I just want to say thank you again to all of you who show up here each day. I'm experimenting all week with times. And today we're experimenting with this video and seeing, because I'd like to be able to watch these videos, but there's a couple of times they use words that we would use different words for, if that makes sense. But I want to see if it affects anything later on in the show. We shall see, because I've been a very good boy. And big shout out to Sean, who I'm sure is watching. I'm behaving myself.
Yeah, you're being an awesome boy.
Did you see me? Did you see
awesome
me?
Boy.
I conscientiously objected. Did you see that? I didn't even care.
Yeah, you're awesome. You're awesome.
Didn't even go into a rage bubble. Okay, just
good.
Smiling. Let's go. Maybe an issue in the post my stream. I deleted Facebook, trying to keep it notice. Okay, so I think we need to stop playing this just because Facebook's given us a row. I don't want to cause any issues on Facebook. So apologies that we're not going to play through all this. But basically, Ricky Gervais goes on to out all of Hollywood. I'm sure a lot of you have said that or have seen that.
Who is the man that he named? Who is the man that he named that you were going to
explain? About Leonardo DiCaprio, but it's more the way that the camera pans to Tom Hanks. And it's Tom Hanks's micro and physical reactions to what's being said about individuals in Hollywood and the age of some of their girlfriends, if that makes sense. So,
yeah,
we're going to jump over now to the video that
and the reaction of Tom Hanks, you think it's like really indicative of what is happening right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I've not I've watched through parts of this video.
Yeah.
We're going to be listening to it more than we are going to be watching it, people, if I'm being honest with you, because there's a couple of clips of Tom Hanks acting in movies. One of them, he looks like he's dressed up as a woman, and I don't know if it's a behind the scenes thing or what.
Yeah.
But he's doing a madness, and it's just not worth sticking up here.
In the movie?
I don't. Well, listen. What I'll do is, if I can figure out, you guys tell me if you can hear the video.
Tom Hanks has been portrayed by Hollywood as the classic wholesome boy next door figure. But those who shared a movie set with him paint a more disturbing picture. The entertainment industry is reeling as the FBI builds another case against Sean Diddy Combs' alleged involvement in a blackmail scandal centered on underage sex and drugs. As the investigation widens, Hollywood insiders are bracing for a thermonuclear fallout that's set to implicate some of the industry's most famous names. Investigators have intensified the drama, warning that Tom Hanks, long upheld as a symbol of Hollywood's moral compass, now faces the prospect of being unmasked and facing a career-ending prosecution. Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community if you haven't already, and sign up to become a member of the world's first ever cyber nation that truly believes in life, liberty, and the pursuit of your dreams. Visit joson.com and click the Join Us button today. It's completely free. Earlier this week, the People's Voice was approached by two anonymous men who demanded that we stop reporting on Sean Diddy Combs. They made it clear they wouldn't leave us until we agreed to their terms. When we stood firm and refused to be intimidated, their tactics shifted. They offered a substantial sum of money in exchange for altering our narrative. Needless to say, we rejected their bribe and remain committed to reporting the truth without fear or compromise. This incident caps off a
So we've already seen with Samson, individuals turning up at creators' doors, all the rest of it. And we're hearing allegedly the same thing has happened to this individual, the People's Voice. You guys can put what you want in the side chat.
You know that YouTubers also are being like followed by private investigator to be offered thing to not talk about Diddy.
I just want to say, if at any point anyone is hired to follow me around, I would like to apologize now for how boring your job's going to be, right? The fact of the matter is, you're going to be sat outside my house for days. If anything, you're going to be concerned for my well-being because you ain't seen my ass outside for days. Yeah. All right, carry on.
momentous couple of months during which everything we've been warning the world about the elites and the entertainment industry has begun to unfold, proving the disturbing realities we've been exposing. It feels like an age, but it has been just 62 days since Sean Diddy Combs was indicted, and his friends and accomplices immediately went into panic mode. Countless celebrities and CEOs scrubbed their social media accounts and stood down from high-profile roles in the immediate aftermath of the arrests, including long-term Diddy confidant Usher and Megan Fox, who has openly spoken about her participation in satanic blood rituals.
Just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only.
Investigators have revealed that Diddy kept meticulous evidence of hundreds of celebrities engaged in satanic ritual acts, including pedophilia. It's no wonder Diddy enjoyed taunting the Hollywood elite and reminding them that he was going to take their souls because he owned them.
I'm going to take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool.
According to those on the inside, Barack Obama is sweating bullets at the prospect of his past being exposed. Barack is far from the only one. Hollywood stars are now fleeing the US, citing the incoming Trump administration, while everybody in Hollywood understands the real reason for their sudden exits. Diddy party participant Eva Longoria announced her departure last week, and news promptly followed that Tom Hanks had fled to Greece, the land where he purchased a property, while the Isaac Cappy accusations were gaining steam. Why is the former president of the United States spending time with a man credibly accused of raping underage stars? As rumors continue to swirl and parents demand justice, industry whistleblowers are coming forward in their droves to share what they know about Hanks and his shameful history in Tinseltown.
thing about being seen as the nicest guy in Hollywood is that no one searches my backyard for bodies.
According to investigators, Hanks has been hiding in plain sight for decades, toying with the public, while openly promoting the worst excesses of the elite through the use of signs and symbols.
This is creepy.
Look at him. Sweet, pretty loser.
Right, hang on. Let me see if I can show this bit. Hang on a second.
So now we're accusing Tom Hanks of doing some stuff.
Oh, no. Tom Hanks has been on the radar since for me anyway, since I done my first documentary, Letitia. He's got a long history with being connected to some very dodgy things. So it's not a new thing. This is definitely not a new thing. Just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly not.
But today we are talking about him.
Yeah. So give me 1 second, everybody. I just want to see what this symbol is.
Because there is a new video from what Ron was showing to us about people talking about Tom Hanks' involvement and the disguise that he has shown to us for years.
Wow.
Okay. So
interesting.
Yeah, they're touching on the.
I see red flags everywhere in the US. No, red flag everywhere in the world.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly it. The reason that people feel like it's just Hollywood is when you think about just how much attention is on Hollywood, if you see what I mean. You're almost prefixed there anyway, if that makes sense to you. But it is a global issue, okay? So let's continue.
Make daddy love you. Sexy baby.
Sexy baby. Get up. Earn it.
So yeah, this is them just commenting on the Jimmy Kimmel skit, just in case you wonder what's going on off camera here. It's the Jimmy Kimmel skit that's being cut up.
Sexy baby, you're such a sexy baby. I'm proud of you, buddy. Yeah.
In 2024, Hanks's past is catching up with him.
Yeah, I know you can't see the video. There's a couple of images in there that I don't know what I'm looking at, but it definitely looked like Tom Hanks in a dress with his legs open doing something. Allegedly, and I don't know.
Wow.
I just didn't have the time to get the timestamps or everything, everybody. So you're just being forced to listen right now. I will though retweet this just now.
Yeah.
So you can go and watch it after this if you do want to see what's on screen. I am checking if there's anything you need to see, but it is mainly a news report, and you're not missing anything by not seeing it from a context point of view.
Yeah.
Insiders from Diddy's notorious LA party scene are coming forward to blow the whistle on what they know.
Man, I've been keeping this to myself for years, but them nights working them doors, it was something else. Big names would roll through. Music moguls, actors, athletes, you name it. And there was one star, the Hollywood guy everybody knows. Yeah, Forrest Gump always had this smile like he owned the world. Showed up to some of them real exclusive parties in LA, the kind where no cell phones were allowed and everybody signed NDAs. The thing is, they ain't even know there were cameras in every room, catching everything going down. One night, I was posted by the private rooms upstairs. People came and went, but Forrest? He went in with a couple folks, including a young pop star who was just blowing up at the time. Everyone was talking about him. The music was blasting, but I could still hear them screams coming from inside, like something real sick was going down. He ain't come back down for hours after that. They say he liked to dress up in drag, wear this big strap on, and chase his victims round the room. Then he'd start raping them for hours, taking it way past what's normal. When the party ended, folks were whispering. Nobody would say it outright, but the vibe was heavy, like everyone knew something bad went down. I didn't see him. Who is that man? And after that night, I didn't see him around at those parties again.
Who's talking?
Yeah,
this
who's talking?
Diddy insider testimony. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can get you anything more than that. Nope. Again, all allegedly. Just everyone, just remember.
Of course.
Okay, we're talking about a report that's been put on Twitter. I will say 5.3 million views in 36 hours. This video's had. So it's not like it's it's not like not a lot of people have seen this. I understand some of you, this might be old news, whatever, but I think it's important that we just discuss when connections or there's stories or allegations that are tying Hollywood into this, even if, and again, I fall victim to this a lot with you guys, because I don't often have time to watch through everything before we watch it together. That's why we're watching it off screen. You're not getting to see it. And I said to you earlier, this is a bit of a test for me. Because there, you know, if what I'm testing today doesn't work, it means that I'll need to screen record everything, edit out words and all of this if we're going to watch stuff back, and it means that we may be restricted to how much stuff we can watch on a daily basis, if that makes sense.
But we can talk about all of it.
Oh yeah, we can talk about all of it. Yeah, hell yeah.
So what did you think? Why did you like when you saw that video? What did you think about it?
I'm watching it for the first time with you guys right now.
Yeah,
so
what did you think?
The Diddy insider testimony there, of course, all allegedly. But I mean, if that turns out to be true, it's quite horrific to think that anyone is being terrorized and chased around with a large strap-on instrument. You know, we've already heard security or one of the security guards who'd recorded an alleged incident through a door where we could hear horrific things going on, and him talking about hearing screams. All of it sounds very dramatized, very much like you would explain something if it happened, but also how you would try and explain something if you were trying to make something. I don't know. I'm just telling both sides of the story here. It is allegedly.
Yeah.
But
And you, Lady Letitia. Yeah, Lady Letitia.
I'm seeing Tom Hanks there. Oh, nobody else.
No,
why do you have a hard time? Why do you have a hard time seeing Tom Hanks there?
Because, of course, he just doesn't seem like the type that would be hanging out with Diddy and going to a Diddy party.
Yeah, but listen, like I say, Letitia, this goes on long before then. Where for me, this I'm not even here to try and convince anyone. I know where I land on this, and it's not something that I'm going to try and convince people of, because
yeah, but we're here to discuss.
You're either
right?
in the know. Oh yeah, 100%. But I want to continue with this. We've still got another 8 minutes to get through, so I want to continue. With this.
Yeah.
They moved me off that door the next time he showed up. Guess they didn't want anyone talking, but I know what I heard. And I know it wasn't right.
Remember, I said we were threatened to stop reporting on Diddy and the crimes of the entertainment industry elite. Well, we have an update on that after this important word from our sponsor. The global banks, I don't trust governments, and for instance, assets, no matter what restrictions the government impose on every beef, and up to $7,500 in free, or go to Colonial Metals Group. Team is not happy.
So the Diddy situation just got a lot more heated. He's been committing crimes from his jail cell, trying to obstruct justice and intimidate witnesses. And the FBI, they just raided his jail cell and took all of his stuff. Now, this really pisses defense attorneys off because clearly they've gathered evidence that's going to make it a lot harder for them to do their jobs, because he was in there writing notes, probably potentially to send out third party to other people to have them continue intimidating witnesses. Keep in mind that all of this comes right on the heels of them having recorded jail phone calls of him using other people's phone accounts to be able to contact people and have them contact witnesses to try to get them not to testify against him.
So, I mean, when we're talking about him and his potential threat to witnesses, right? We've already seen his potential threat to witnesses from within his jail cell, if that makes sense. And it's crazy, right? That they think they're going to find a judge who is going to believe that his West End apartment has a worse scenario to play out for him than the detention center that he's in. I just cannot see a judge being convinced. Now, Rebecca, you bring up Shirley Temple. Do you know how mad the story of that little girl's life is? Do you know why the Shirley. Do you know what a Shirley Temple cocktail is, Maggie?
It's a cocktail.
Yeah, but it's like lemonade with like cherry syrup, I believe, and then a cherry on top with like crushed ice. And there's no alcohol in it. And it's called a Shirley Temple because Shirley Temple hung out in so many bars and so many places where children shouldn't be. They had to come up with a cocktail just so she could drink something. Sprite and grenadine. There we go.
But I'm just happy that at least Shirley Temple, she ran away from Hollywood before something could happen to her.
Oh, no.
Unlike Judy Garland.
You think nothing happened to her?
That's what she said. She said that people tried. I'm not gonna say that nobody tried and that she wasn't put in uncomfortable situation.
Okay, I'm with you.
While Judy Garland, even Jaguar was talking about her that she
Can I just say as well, Dan had watched Shirley Valentine. I watched Shirley Valentine for the first time on Friday night, the movie Shirley Valentine, and there's no point in me telling you this other than I was shocked at how sucked into that movie I got. There was no explanation for it. No explanation. An 80s movie about a woman who goes to Greece because she hates her husband and talks to walls. Sold. So yeah, anyway, let's continue on with this. If there's nothing more about Tom Hanks coming up on this, we'll circle back to some more points I have, and we'll carry on. But let's just continue this and see where
exactly. We'll discuss about Tom Hanks.
Voice was threatened to stop reporting on Diddy, and when we insisted that we could not be intimidated, we were offered money to change the narrative about him on X and Rumble. It turns out we were not the only ones to receive a visit from his people. A wider campaign of misinformation is unfolding, and it's critical that we expose it now before it spreads any further. We can't afford to let this narrative take hold and distract from the truth.
2 private investigators just visited a place I used to live in search of me, and they were coming to ask me whether or not I've been paid to talk about P. Diddy and his connection to other celebrities on my show. Now, luckily, the person I used to live with called me on the phone so I could talk to these guys. They did not immediately disclose that they were private investigators. I had to coax that out of them through being quite hostile to them throughout the conversation. But they kept bringing up my content that I made in regard to P. Diddy and his connection to other celebrities. They would not say who they were working for and who had hired them to come and travel around to these different influencers. But they did say that they would be going to multiple influencers who are talking about these stories to figure out whether or not they're being paid by a
All right, I'm going to put a pin in this for a second. I want to circle back around to Tom Hanks for a minute because I think they're getting on to the topic of Diddy and trying to silence people and all the rest.
Yeah,
and of course, he had Samson on, I believe it was on Friday, and he went into his encounter and he had video footage and all the rest of it. And that was quite insane. And we'll talk about that once we're done with the Tom Hanks section of this because I would like to touch on that. Now, for those of you, I think the big thing was the witness testimony, the insider testimony within that narrative that we just heard. And again, if this was a video that had 10,000 views or something like that, I would be thinking, well, this is probably just nonsense, right? 5.3 million. I've not looked so much into this guy, but his video has a lot of traction. So, friends, for the remainder of this discussion,
well, that doesn't mean it's authenticity. People like clickbait, you know.
I agree.
I get that, but you usually see things nipped in the bud, right, fairly quickly, especially on whether it's YouTube.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
not on Twitter.
No,
not since Elon Musk. Well, that's the point of Elon Musk buying it.
Let me put it another way for you then. Maybe this one will sink. When we've got somebody who reports on the news who's got a large audience, right? And his video's got a bit of traction and all the rest of it, I would give, if what he's saying is true and he has a source, I would probably give his source a little bit more credibility than something that hasn't got any traction for the sake of argument. In this case,
so you're tend to believe that this is true.
I 100% could say I believe that there is links to the previous Isaac Cappy situation, the pizza scenario, and the man in question. Yes, and I think it's interesting that he keeps being brought up into things, right? So he could just be being used as clickbait 100%, but it doesn't excuse everything else that's happened. Okay, the amount of times that he's popped up, things that are connected with the Clintons, things that are connected with Comet Ping Pong. And I'll tell you something else. One moment, please.
It just feels like a lot of people are naming a lot of these Hollywood stars, and we need to have more evidence. We need to be sure that this is really going down instead of just naming and claiming.
Okay, so then if that's the case, why are the Clintons not in prison? If all we need is evidence, right? And we've got 30,000 emails and the FBI handed them all, but the system is corrupt, Lady Letitia. So sadly, I don't have time today to try and convince you of this, but there's somebody within the circle of friends, okay, that has a very interesting connection to a lot of very odd stories, of a lot of very odd deaths, and a lot of very suspicious testimonies surrounding young actors, especially body doubles, and especially extras. Actor extras. Now,
are you talking about Tom Hanks?
No, I'm not
Who
going
are
to
you
say the
talking
name. I'm not going to say the name. It's pretty obvious who I'm talking about, being that there's only 2 people on the screen, and I'm not talking about one of them, right? So when we heard about Diddy taking the control of Bieber, what was it? What was that referred to as, Maggie? The parental control. What was it called? It was guardianship, right?
Exactly.
So it's interesting that apparently a certain movie director, when he done a certain movie with a very young Christian Bale, some of the young actors in that never, ever, 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 ever wanted anything to do with acting ever again once they returned home. And I'm wondering if the guardianship that was put in place on these movie sets was similar to the one that was put in place in the music industry. Allegedly. Oh, yeah, I wonder. I mean, did anything terrible happen to Drew Barrymore? Well, of course. I mean, 6 and 7-year-olds tend to end up, or however, 10-year-olds tend to end up in rehab, right? Especially after their first movie, right? Just normal,
that
right?
makes a lot of sense.
And then we look at a certain other movie that involves a scary television set and a creepy little short woman that says she's going to exorcise the demon, right? Little lady that passed away there. Very, very suspicious when you look at medical reports and you look at official causes of death.
Are you talking about Poltergeist?
I'm talking about that, maybe. We're not going to get too specific. It's easier not to get too specific, but the side chat are nailing it. So you'll find you got your answers there. So, but
yeah, but I saw that it was Poltergeist, and she was by her ex-boyfriend.
Who? Her ex-boyfriend. She was 7 or 8.
The Poltergeist girl she didn't die at 7 or 8.
We're talking about 2 different people. There were 2 girls in the show, the old star and the little girl, the one that was at the TV.
Died. Okay, yeah, sorry. She died at age 13. My bad. 13. So you tell me somebody else died?
Yeah, that's what I saw in the Menendez brother thingy. But yeah, so you think that those young actors that come into the in Hollywood automatically they get victimized in a certain way?
No, I think they are handpicked, and then movies are created to facilitate various horrible activities, and we get to a certain point within television and movie history where information starts to travel too fast. People start to ask too many questions. And sadly, the average sicko gets an increase in public knowledge. So the public become more aware of child predators. It's no longer, that weird scout leader that slaps you in the ass as you go over a wall. You know what I'm saying? It's now, it's been brought into light. Imagine, I'm saying that because in the UK, there was a period of time where people doing stuff like that, it wasn't, no one was really doing anything about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
I'm not saying it's
like
right.
back in the days.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying just it's everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we've seen I think we've seen the end of trickery, Maggie. I think the Biebers of the future aren't going to be tricked into things. They're just going to be told the harsh reality, right? They're going to be told the hard reality, and they're going to be using from the start, putting them into scenarios where they know they're in the wrong to then facilitate all of this. Whereas I think for a while there was trickery, there was an allure of a facade, if you will. Not necessarily talking about who's on screen, if I'm being honest. This is a whole different level of evil when we start talking about.
You're talking about Hollywood's influence in general. And
oh my God,
when
just
did Tom
researched
Hanks?
the boy from Big. His name is David Moscow. Hang on a second. Carry on, Maggie. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when did Tom Hanks start going in movies? How young was he? Was he like also a victim? And then after he became, maybe allegedly, like what happened in Hollywood? Does it automatically happen that you were abused and then you become an abuser? Is that like just normal?
Hang on.
And Letitia.
I don't know. Yeah, Letitia. Okay, so the side chat was just asking about the kid that played Tom Hanks's kid version in Big. His name is David Moscow, and I'm just having a wee look to see.
Yeah, he was young in that movie, Big.
Yeah, he looks.
Okay, Jabbar and Yoke is saying this kid is about a black man who is down low.
That's not true.
Contract. That's not about that. It's about it's about a system that was put in place to abuse people.
What we talking
Diddy is just one, because one person in the chat was saying that the subject was about Diddy being on a down low as a bisexual deviant, and I'm just like, this is not about that at all.
I mean, it could be, but it's not about that in a big way. But he probably was a bisexual deviant.
Yeah, that's true. But it's about the system.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with being bisexual.
Like it's a,
and even if you're a deviant and it's consensual with other deviants, that you're all happy to be deviants together. Everyone's fine. No one's being tricked. There's no abuse or anything like that. It's not really about that. It's about for me.
Someone in the chat.
Say that again, like, hey, Letitia, you're a bit.
If I responded to someone in the chat that said that I wouldn't believe it even if I saw it with my own two eyes. No, I'm just not that quick to just judge someone without factuals. Like if someone says something, I just need to see the facts behind it. Like
I'm with you.
You know, I need to see it to be more convinced.
It's okay. I'll send you some. I'll send you some stuff to watch, and then you.
But just to come back, it's not about deviancy. It's not about sexuality. It's about a system. Like when you listen to victim of Diddy, they talk about the fact that sometimes they were even pressured to become abusers themselves. Like it was either I do it to you or someone else will do it to me. So it's not about sexuality.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, you're off the mark there. Whoever's in the side chat, you're off the mark there with what this is about to us or to me anyway.
Exactly, it's about corruption.
Okay,
the system is rotten to the core.
They start warning Americans about Paul Harvey.
Darkness, and I'd have a third of its real.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. So did you all hear the radio announcement? I mean, this is 1965, right? That this was broadcast. Paul Harvey broadcast over the radio what he would do to take control of a society. Put a 1 in the side chat if you know. Put a 1 in the side chat if you know what I'm talking about. Put a 2 in the side chat if you've never heard this, because what we're going to do is I'm going to play you guys the trailer once again for Wednesday night.
Lady Letitia, can you start back the link, because when you talk it's like
you're super breaky uppy. 1, 2 to do. Okay. So Maggie, your job is to remind me that after we've watched this trailer, we're going to watch the broadcast, because I will ADHD out as soon as I press play on this video. Please remind
what
me.
broadcast?
It's the Paul Harvey broadcast. Okay, so we're going to watch the Paul Harvey broadcast next. But I'm going to play you guys this trailer because there's almost 3,000 of you here, and I played it at 1,000. We will be back in a couple of minutes, and this is our big night that is coming on Wednesday. Prepare yourselves.
They won't no more. They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. We're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but breaking down racial barriers, breaking down generation barriers. People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on. You know, it's just like people from all walks of life connecting and getting together.
They want to be an artist. They want to stay a star. Don't have to worry about the day the producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
In the Francis interview, you talked about Bieber going on romantic vacations with wealthy men. Is that normal in the industry? Young people getting groomed and drugged and manipulated?
And if you look at all the footage with him and Puffy or anyone else, you can tell something's going on romantically. And if it was my child, somebody's gonna have their teeth knocked out their mouth. All people who involved, regardless, preachers, athletes, artists, can't just crucify one man. So therefore, at the end of the day, there's going to be people that is witnesses or there's going to be accountants. But at the same time, artists can do all the pointing the finger. But if you hang on Puffy all the time, everywhere you go, they go. And you willing to get arrested and nobody can handcuff. I ain't pointing the finger at Diddy, but it looks really suspect. Allegedly, everybody knew that in the beginning to send big boy gifts and send other people gifts in return for favors. Bedtime favors.
Oh, hell yeah. So we have Misha surviving Diddy, followed by Shug Knight, interview with Sean Atwood. It is a banger. I just want to say thank you to Sarah Dean for the super chat. Go watch the movie Sound of Freedom. The movie Hollywood had fits about Mel Gibson making Who Those Kids Endure Horrific. Do you know what? If you join the Discord, I'm planning another movie night. And we may just do a back-to-back of that and blink twice because allegedly. I mean, I wouldn't condone anybody doing that on a Discord server because, you know, that's dodgy.
That's like getting Shug Knight. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And Seven Deadly Chins. The Elia lady had another husband is a CA. Well, thank you, everyone, for your support. Thank you for all of the super chats. It really does help. And, of course, you can get all my links and everyone else's links in the description. I may have forgotten to put everyone's links in the description. I'm pretty bad at that. But I'm going to add everyone back up to the link tree, and that keeps it easy. So... The Eyes of the Devil. I've got an interview with Patrick Vega that is basically ready for the boss to watch through and then tell me how many more words I need to delete from it. And I'm waiting on Shane, who's going through some family stuff right now, and then moving house, getting in touch with Vega to do a follow-up live stream with us for any Q&As that you guys have. So
Run two things. Don't forget the podcast.
Which one?
Podcast.
The radio broadcast.
You said to me to remind you about a Dan something.
No, it was Paul Harvey, and it's a radio broadcast. You failed miserably at that one, mate. You are now off. You're off the team. I keep forgetting you've got ADHD as well. It's like asking somebody else who can't remember anything. Yeah, I realize I set both of us up to fail there. Margie, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Okay, so some of you have seen this, some of you haven't. And again, this is from 1965. And I just want you all to keep in the back of your head everything that's gone on the last 4 or 5 years, all of the madness in the world. And let's look at one man's premonition for what allegedly was to come. Let's listen.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of the serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed.
Hello, Queenie.
And I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flame. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography.
We're talking about 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds and 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds. He's got over 600 images, gobs of video footage of these children that you say this does not signal a heinous or egregious child pornography offense. And then you went on to say the defendant was merely trying to satisfy his curiosity. That's somehow a reason to only give him 3 months. Help me understand this.
Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. I would caution against extremes.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represented extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. Paul Harvey. Good day.
1965, right? I mean, you don't have to see anything to know what was going on there. Big shout out to Mr. Scoville as well. Tommy, I need you and your brother for a live stream, mate, if possible, in December. We're trying to put together a big charity thing where we all burn our faces off to try in the
you burn.
No, oh no, there's a bunch of people involved now. So there's a bunch of us, yeah. So it's going to be a huge night. Like, do you think that I'm going to put myself through this just on a live stream? Oh no. And I need you, I'm genuinely being honest. If please, on that night, bring what little you can or what you can afford to donate, because it's for 2 amazing causes, and I'm all about supporting community things as opposed to massive charities where our little donations go in and we don't really see any effect from it all. And I've got 2 really incredible community members that I want to benefit from this. And what do you get in exchange for your money? Well, you'll get some Christmas good luck, obviously, for being selfless. But I am going to torture myself with the tubes of terror. I have 4 of them, right? Okay, I have 4 of them, and I'm going to consume 1 regardless of the nuts. But for every 10 bucks, every 10 bucks you donate, I'm going to add 1 of the 15 million Scoville corn nuts into a bowl. At the end of the night, we'll see how much you've donated. If there's over $1,000, I'll add in an extra tube. of the nuts, and I've got 2 full tubes of the. I mean, it's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. No refunds. No refunds. I'm telling you that right now. There's none of this. If I pass out, or if for any reason anything horrific happens, I ain't coming back to finish it off. Okay, this is a one-time deal.
The lifeboat. I see that you're saying the lifeboat. I'm saying that you're saying. We're looking forward to it. You're looking forward to see Ron suffer.
Off their nut. Like someone told me the other day that his brother ate 10 tubes.
He's not gonna get past half of a tube. I'm not saying that you're not, can't do it, Ron. I'm supporting you. Okay, but listen, I saw those other men. I saw those other men on there that didn't make it.
Do you mean those professional eaters? Those professional those guys who for over a decade their life has been eating hot stuff and destroying it, being reduced to snotty trivia like messes on the. Oh yeah, I've seen it too. Okay, and I'm telling you now, it's going to be a thing. Now there'll be a special thing for donating on that night where it'll all be set up. It'll all be running through PayPal so that no one's having to pay YouTube 30% or anything like that. And then it will be divided up and sent at the end of the evening. Always will be published so that everyone who donates knows I'm not some weirdo on the internet trying to take all your money. And then everyone on Discord, I'm telling you now, when all of this comes out of my body, that's what I'm worried about. Going in, I know what to expect, but when it all comes out, no, mate, no, I'm not looking forward to that.
Queenie.
Hi, hello, dearie,
hello. Did you see the trailer? What did you think?
No, I haven't seen anything. I haven't been watching anything at all. I've been busy doing other things.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but they're saying that they're gonna have interview with Suge Knight and Misha.
Yep.
So what do you think about Suge Knight?
I knew about that, but I couldn't say.
Exactly. Now the secret is out. What do you think?
Well, there's a few questions I would really like to ask Misha. I was watching her with what's his name B, whatever his name B is, and she was Lionel B. Yes, and she mentioned that she was around where he was doing shootouts and stuff. So I wanted her to go in a bit more on that. Okay. That's something that I think we need to ask. What else? Okay, there's another question. About the child. Suge Knight. I don't really want to. Suge Knight.
What did you say?
I think she's more interested in questions for Misha than Suge is. Of what you're politeness.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, what question would you like to ask like Misha?
One second, ladies. Spin and Grin. I'm not going to say any of these words, but you can read it on the screen. Put a 1 in the side chat if anyone would like a refresher night on what we'll have to call pasta fence. Okay, pasta fence, not pizza thing. Pasta fence. Okay, so if you'd like a refresher night on pasta fence, let me know. I will be calling it pasta fence. All right. And it'll probably just be me for fear of anyone not knowing how cryptic we need to be. But put a 1 in the side chat if you like a refresher course on that, because I'm happy to do it. No, sorry.
So yeah, Queenie, Misha, what you were saying.
Yeah, the other one is regarding the child. What steps is been taken for her to get a DNA test? Because I believe her that child is hers. I really believe her. Yes.
So
that's those 2 questions I would like to ask her. Are you guys can put it in your thing to ask as well? I don't know. For Suge Knight, what part did he play in those 2 big personnel gotten wiped out? That's my question for him.
I think you're saying Tupac and Biggie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
Excellent.
his
Yeah.
role? Yes.
I mean,
What's his role?
that's a pre-recorded interview, sadly. So there's no question. We can speculate, but your audio is breaking up. Queenie, try moving the phone a little bit further away from you in case it is a breath pop that we're getting as opposed to a malfunction. Another good way of doing it is turn the phone the opposite way around so that the microphone's pointing away from you if you want to have it close to you so that you're never actually talking directly into it.
Ron, it's my
Hello?
phone. It's getting really hot. It's not even charging at the moment properly again.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's bad. But listen, where are we at anyway? We're at 2 hours. What time is it? It's almost 3 o'clock. Okay, so let's see what else I've got to go through. I don't know what the hell this is, but we'll maybe get a follow up on it. It looks a bit weird. Sean Diddy going to the Prime Minister. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of this guy that done the Tom Hanks video. He is putting out a whole bunch of stuff on a whole bunch of people. But here's a real interesting one, right?
But is he really putting out so much stuff? Because I feel like he's just repeating things that we already know, no?
It could be. Yeah, but a lot of people are just doing that. A lot of people are just doing that, if I'm being honest with you.
Going back.
But the thing for me was Tom
Mhm.
Hanks being brought back into this. Will we see anything more off of this insider? Will other people start naming that individual? Who knows? It's all allegedly. But for me, Mr. Hanks has a place in the whole Diddy-sphere, Holly weird.
What's interesting to me is that the victims has not mentioned Tom Hanks. You know, I haven't heard them mention Tom Hanks' name. This is my first time hearing it.
In this case, but not in the history of all of this, if you see what I mean, Letitia.
Right.
So
First, and we didn't hear from all victims. We heard from maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
That's
So
true.
what I'll do actually, when I say, do you want to, when we do the past offense night, I will have, it will just be me and Lady Letitia, right? And Lady Letitia, I'll go through it all with you on past offense night, and you can see it all. We'll go through it as a community, and then you can pass your judgment at the end of it all, because I think that's going to be the best way to just, you know, take you on the next step of all this. Now, here's this one.
But
This
Suge
one-
Knight was saying so interesting thing.
So
Like,
you
what do you think
do-
about Suge Knight?
No. Before we just go into general chit chat, there's one more thing on Twitter before I forget about it, right? And this was a good one. And this is where conspiracy theory becomes interesting. Richard Branson is the son of Eve Branson, who was a founding member of the board of directors of the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Richard
Oh my
Branson
God.
was the founding sponsor. He owns Virgin. Notice the logo is written in blood, right? Have you ever thought about the Virgin logo, right? Because as soon as they said written in blood, that's all I can see now. Okay. He also owns Necker Island, which is not very far from Epstein Island, where he hosted Nexium parties. Here's a little picture of his island. You know, that looks like, I mean, I'm not being funny. That looks like a nice size, manageable from a property point of view. I'm telling you, man, these people.
Thank you.
They don't know how to just treat things normally, right? Like, for example, the elites.
The Lionel B is on the chat.
Listen, I'm not being funny. Lionel, am I right or am I wrong? If you had enough money and there was an affordable island that you could buy, it's been ruined for you now. Lionel B can't buy an island and then be like, hey guys, welcome back to the Lionel B show. We have bought an island. It's going to be great. They've ruined it. They've ruined it, mate. They've ruined it. Am I right or am I wrong, Lionel? I'm
No,
right.
you're right. You're right.
100%
You're right.
right.
And Virgin written in blood. It's like, you know, virginity, you lose blood after it's taken.
Okay.
That's
The Rothschilds
weird.
linked Brothman sisters. The Rothschild linked Brotham sisters donated millions to the cult, whose leaders, Alison Mack, that is a mad case, by the way, were charged with this lovely thing. Alison Mack also got 3 years and is getting out soon. But I'm telling you, I have been staring at this logo for all of my life. All of my life, there was huge Virgin Media, Virgin stores. My internet that we're watching on this right now has that logo on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, those
And-
people, they like leaving clues literally in our face as if they're mocking us. It's like R. Kelly with the song and him. if he's discovered, like Alison Mack, which is where she was in Smallville. I don't know if anyone saw
Yeah.
Smallville.
Oh,
That was
listen,
weird.
that whole Nexium case was wild. When they done that
Yeah.
Netflix series, I think I
Mhm.
got 3 episodes into a 4-part series where I was breaking down when they were talking about the recruitment phases, when they were talking about all of this. I broke it down from a basic predatorial tactic point of view, and
Yeah.
it was fascinating how textbook you can repackage predatory hunting tactics for people into marketing events, into meetups, social gatherings, all of this. And when you add the allure of elites and exclusivity to something, the allure is magnified. It is magnified by those who feel it's unobtainable and wild. I mean, it takes a special kind of guy to trick a whole bunch of women to brand a symbol on themselves that turns out to be your initials. And
exactly.
And do a whole bunch of SAing and RN and a whole bunch of madness, right?
Yeah. No, it's like those people are mocking us.
Well, here's the thing. That guy is just a crazy dude. Like, he isn't, to me, part of the bigger. He's one of the people. He's a wannabe part of the problem, but he's not.
I see what you mean.
He's not in the whole. He's like our level of the world crazy cult man, if that makes sense. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
He's not. He wants to be in the next level, but isn't, if that makes sense. And allegedly, that's when we're talking about Ron's ADHD.
Allegedly.
That's where he lands on the pyramid of all this. I keep doing this a lot, by the way. I just want to just
where would you put Diddy and on that pyramid?
He's on the next floor up. He's on the Hollywood sphere of all of this. Whereas I feel that the Nexium, the lot, it was within Hollywood, but it was the Hollywood that was happy to rub shoulders with the public level of Hollywood. So the Smallville TV actors, the lower movie end of things, the producers, the directors, and things like this. And it was just a wild case. It was a wild case.
Yes, it was.
It really was. If people don't know about that case, go and ruin your weekend with that, because
especially if you like Smallville, that would be like.
Did anyone like Small? I mean, I remember watching Smallville as a child, right? Was it Smallville? Smallville. Which one was
Smallville?
Smallville was Superman. He
Superman.
landed and he's growing up.
Exactly.
I don't know if it was that. No, I think it was what there was.
Yes, it was that.
No, there was another one
was.
I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of another one. Smallville's not the one I'm thinking
of.
It was no. This was before all of this. It was
X-File?
Lois and Clark. It was Lois and Clark. Put a one in the side chat to help me out
so
here.
Old.
Yeah. Thank you. Slap one of them in there. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we're going to end on our Twitter madness. But I'll tell you now, I have spent years.
I love Smallville.
I spent years looking at this, years and years looking at this logo. Never once has it ever registered that this looks like someone has painted it with their finger in blood until today, right? And
called Virgin.
Well, listen, I never questioned the Virgin part. I don't know why. We all in the UK, we had Virgin Airlines, we've got Virgin Media, we've got Virgin this, we've got Virgin that. Didn't really question it.
I've always questioned the name. Why Virgin? I've always said that. Why that specific name? I've always questioned it.
Well, now I'm questioning it because it's clearly written. It looks like it's just been taken straight off of a wall, right? That some poor victim has tried to paint on a wall or something. It's very sinister now. Allegedly.
I'm with you, Queenie. I was wondering why they named it Virgin. It's just a weird name to name.
Yeah, I've always thought of that. Like, why? That's a bit out there.
Yeah.
Ron.
Yeah.
Question for you, Ron.
Yeah.
Did Ali ever mention Tom Hanks?
No, she did not.
To be honest, when you start digging into Ali, I feel like there's 90 terabytes of her, because just content that she's put out on the internet, but there's so much that's been removed, there's so much that's been deleted, and there's no actual, because if someone's re-uploading something from 5 years ago, but it says it was uploaded last week, and you don't know the full story, it's different to know where you're jumping in on the timeline story with Ali. And that's not a criticism, that's just me trying to do my best to learn it all. So I don't know. She could have. I do not know. She may have hinted at stuff.
Her say it.
Yep. Yeah,
There's lots of actresses and actors that talked about him, though, Letitia. There's stuff out there about him, like real crazy stuff that you're like, wow, wow.
And don't get me
See,
wrong,
this is my first time hearing about it today.
and that's okay. And that's why we're going to have a Pastigate night, just to ruin your impression of Hollywood like all the rest. We're going to drag you down to hell with us, Lady Letitia.
The lifeboat has a Branson story.
Your eye colors are beautiful, Ron. Are they blue? Your eyes are blue, aren't they? I just now noticed them.
The mana is strong today. Okay. It's because we're meeting. It's because I've got a show with Bev, so the energy is like charged up today. If any of you seen the off-world DNA that we done on last week with Beverly, we are now going to be doing J-Lo and Diddy's off-world DNA analysis this evening. It's going to be freaking awesome, right? It's going to be freaking awesome. So make sure you're there. I got a Branson story. I met his fam. I met he and his family spent about a week with them helping tour a very large ski area. I was the family's. Oh, sweet. Branson. Oh, Richard. Do you know what? I read this whole thing. I read that as Bronson, right? And I thought you were talking about Charles Bronson, the guy who's in prison in the UK. That just to show you how quickly my brain ruins everything I'm trying to do on the internet. No reason why I would read that as Bronson at all.
Yeah.
And for my brain to then invent an entirely new narrative. Let's start that again, shall we? I got a Branson story. I'm pretty sure I even said Bronson. I got a Branson story. I met his family and spent about a week with them, helping them tour a very large ski area. I was the family's host. Interesting, mate. Interesting.
And he said, as a continuation, weird dude, weird family.
Okay. Well, was it like billionaire weird vibes? Because this is the thing. Like, there was a guy that waited outside a hotel for one of the really old Rothschilds, right? And sort of went up to him and started asking him some questions. And it was weird just how willing and like old man this man was to just stand there and answer this guy's questions. So I wonder how many run-ins with these individuals. We're getting weird vibes from them because they're so far out of the realm of what even if they're not evil billionaires, right? Out of the norm. Like, they must be. That old Rothschild clip is legendary, right? So, but again, I'm not saying that everybody is evil that's connected with this story. I'm sure there's people that maybe are the outcasts of even the most evil families who, want to be nice and have empathy and all these things. But you just got to look at the tactical inbreeding that can allegedly have happened over certain bloodlines and over certain families, and it raises another interesting one.
Well, Ron, I believe if you're in those families and you've got a good heart or you're compassionate, they shun you. I would think they would, because that's not what they're about.
That's what I'm saying. They were the black sheeps of the family, the ones that were compassionate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those would be the odd ones out in the narrative of the, minor destroying bloodline evil people that we often speak about as the cabal. But yeah, so I wonder how much these people just give off weird vibes anyway, because again, they're just so far out of the realm. There's people that are so rich that can't ever comprehend what it's like to be normal because they've never been without that level of riches. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you've heard the term
here.
You've heard the term new money and old money. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely a difference.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder, what is the normal for when everything is obtainable? Do you see what I mean? Like, for us,
Ron, look at Prince Harry. Like, not to talk about them, just to show what it is when you're literally born in this situation, how out of touch you are. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. It's even weirder though, right? Because when we look at the British royals, they can have anything they want, but they don't technically have any money. Okay. So for some people, just being able to have everything isn't enough. They need the Scrooge McDuck pile of gold. They need everything, but they also need the Scrooge McDuck pile of gold. Do you know what I mean? And for some people, that's what being in the royals, just they didn't get that factor. Do you see what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
think, for example, if I was to win $500 million on the lottery, I would lose my freaking mind, and I would conduct myself very differently than somebody who was born into that lifestyle and was raised within that. I'm telling you now.
Yeah,
You know,
because even like when you look at Harry, he was saying stuff like, I only have 14 million. This is a ridiculous thought for us, but for those people, this is I have 5 cents. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, impress me more, Harry, and tell me how much two pints of milk costs. Tell me how much that is, right? And I'll be more impressed. If you can get that within 10 pence, Harry, I'll be impressed. Because the two of us know you ain't got a clue how much 2 pints of milk cost, my G.
Exactly.
So we're almost hitting 2.5 hours. Can we have one more like and share from everybody? I just want to say you have smashed it today. We've been sitting at about 1,850 at a peak on YouTube, almost 1,000 on Twitter, and almost 200 on my little YouTube channel as well. So big shout out to everyone. Thank you so much for being here and turning out. It was an earlier show today. It was about 12:45. I am going to be experimenting all this week, and to be honest with you, I want to try and nail the timing of the show. Finishing within the next sort of 15 minutes or so gives me a little bit of breathing room before the next show, as opposed to starting at 3. So yeah, yes, of course, Lady Letitia.
So you're changing the time of the Daily Show? It's going to be earlier?
It's going to be earlier, but that's fine. Don't worry about getting up earlier. Just stick with the time that you joined. Yeah, just kind of stick with the time that you joined today. It's great being able to get through the first hour knowing I don't have to worry about anybody else not speaking algorithm or saying something or anything crazy. But it allows you guys to not have to worry to be here an hour earlier or anything like that. Don't worry. You guys just keep turning up whenever you want to turn up, and don't worry about having to be here earlier if you don't want to be. So yeah, because we're still going to be running. I mean, we usually start at 2, and it's now 3:15. So there's still, and usually we'll be running for 3 hours, right? Which would be an hour 40 minutes. But I need to cut it off. I need to cut it off early today. Hell yeah, we're coming up to Christmas, man. Ron's got a whole bunch of fun stuff planned for us. Members night, we've got like a murder mystery game that we're going to be playing. I've got a whole bunch of games for the members. The panel can all join us, and then the game appears on screen, and anyone with a mobile phone can log in with a code and play along with it. And it's like a murder mystery quiz sort of thing. There's a whole bunch of them. Then, right in December, I've got a game called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, where the panel members, they're going to be joining the panel. They're going to be given a PDF file of a bomb diffusing kit, and they're not allowed to watch the stream. Okay, I will be broadcasting what is on screen, which is like a computer generated bomb with loads of wires coming out of it. I then to explain to the panel what I'm seeing, so they can then look up in the manual which wires to cut, and we've got the clock's ticking down. It sounds ridiculous. You want to see how pressure affects human beings when I'm saying, Maggie, it's on the right hand side, there's a yellow wire, there's a blue wire, just look it up in the book. And Maggie's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, it is hilarious, right? So we're going to do a whole bunch. Keep talking. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to do a bunch of games like that just to sort of bring us a little bit closer as a community, out with all of the dark and evil stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. And there's a whole bunch of other member stuff that isn't just us playing games, by the way, just to point that out as well. A lot of Q&A stuff, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of chit chats. So yeah, and I think we need that. It's coming up to Christmas. All right.
Ron, I send you a message on WhatsApp.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Queenie.
Hello, Benny.
Okay, yeah. Queenie's still needing help with her kitchen, apparently, right? Because
I think
she's helping. So I don't know where the link is for that or whatever, but if someone wants to fire that up, feel free. I'll stick it in the description as well. A bit of anyone that wants to contribute. But like I say, I just want to thank everyone for being here, and thank you all for just being so supportive. The format, like I say, isn't really going to be changing. The times are changing a little bit, and I'm going to be updating. That's a lie. So we're going to be trying out some new software. Well, not new software, the proper software for live stream. what we're using this now is StreamYard, and it's very much user friendly, but not what I would regard as industry streaming standard software. So we're going to be basically slowly trialing the panel being on Discord and me using Streamlabs so that we can bring in text to speech for donations and things like that. And it's going to be a little interaction. It may only be once a week that we do a stream like that. But for me, it's going to allow a much, much more epic user, viewer experience, shall we say. Because I can do a lot more nerdy stuff on that, but we shall see how it all goes. I can run it through just my own screen right now. So, for example, if I put me where Letitia was, right, and I just put me on the screen right now, and I go over to the software, like you can see it going black there. That's just me going between scenes. So that could be me, whatever. So I can do it. But we'll see, because I don't want. I know you all want me to keep this. Like, but we like the comment on the screen run. Okay, it's frustrating that that's the culture on YouTube. It's not the culture on every other streaming platform. So I am going to make sure that is still an integrated part. Don't freak out. Nobody needs to have a hissy fit. And I'm looking forward to more of these shows. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to Queenie and her phone. Thank you to Queenie's phone for not exploding. I feel like it's in the post, Queenie. We need to get you a new phone. Lady Letitia, your reception's been.
No, I need my kitchen done first. I don't care about a phone right now. My kitchen is driving me up the wall.
Yeah. Well, look, we are back.
What's going on with my reception?
With what? Oh yeah, you've been on like 1991 dial-up internet all day. That's what's going on with you. So don't worry about that. You're just a bit fuzzy. Like right now, you're frozen. You were frozen there. But listen, the next show is at 6:30 tonight. Myself, Beverly Rhodes, going over the energy, the DNA of J-Lo, Diddy, and Whoopi, diving into all of that. And then a brand new series at 8 o'clock with CIM Midlands on my first episode of PDF Hunters. And we are going to be diving into a very, very recent case of a royal former advisor to the king, next door neighbor to Princess Diana, friends with Diana and Charles, knew the boys growing up, Prince Harry, Prince William, and was then arrested for communicating with a minor, shall we say. And we're going to dive into that with CIM Midlands. They've been hunting PDS for over a decade, over 800 cases. They are the real deal. They are not messing around. So make sure you're here for that. And there'll probably be some more stuff, because Sean was asking me when my stuff ended tonight. So I'm assuming he's got stuff coming up as well. And I can't remember what's happening tomorrow. So that's today. We'll see you all.
Okay, thank you, Side Chat, for anyone who can donate. I'm appreciative. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
All right.
Queenie.
We'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace.